What's up guys, happy Lunar New Year's. If you guys don't celebrate the Lunar New Year's, well, happy Thursday. Moving on, we are up against Carnage today. Yes, we have an RU battle. I'm bringing back the old RU battle that I fought last battle because they did so well, and Carnage has quite hell of a team too. I fought Carnage once, and he totally destroyed me. I think he wrecked me. It was probably like a 5-0 or 6-0. And, you know what, I'm just like, okay, let's see if I can fight him one more time. This time with my favorite tier. Yes, you guys don't know Repel. I love RU tier. It's probably one of my favorite tiers. Just something about RU, I don't know why. It's, you know, lesser used, but not to mention, it's, a smaller tier compared to NU as well. He's gonna lead off with the Whimsicott. I left it with the Registeel because I want to set up rocks. Now I'm really scared of that taunt or substitute, so instead of going for the rocks, I actually went for the Psychic Toss. Surprisingly, he switches out and he goes into Emboar straight off the bat to scare me. And I'm just gonna go for a Psychic Toss. Again, you know, if that Whimsicott went for a taunt, obviously my Stealth Box would have failed, right? So I don't want to get hit by any fire or fighting move, so I'm gonna go into Cofagrigus, hoping that he might go for, you know, fighting move. But it turns out this Emboar has Flame Charge, so that is why my opponent has brought out the Emboar so early, because he probably wants to set up this Emboar with Flame Charges. I don't run Flame Charge on this Emboar, but I still know Emboar's, you know, overall stats and movesets, because I like to run Emboar too when I fight RU. He's switching out, he doesn't want to get hit by, I'm not really sure, because I obviously can't Will-O-Wisp him. My best bet is actually Toxic. Yes, I do have, you know, dual statuses. I like to run Will-O-Wisp and Toxic, and it turns out really well. Because now this Whimsicott is Toxic, and now this Whimsicott can no longer be a staller, or an anti-staller, for that matter. That's the last thing Whimsicott wants to, you know, get hit by, is a Toxic. He does go for a Leech Seed, and, you know, I could have switched out into my Rotom-C, but then I thought, you know, I'm just really scared that this Whimsicott might go for, substitute, so it's best I go for a Hex. And not to mention, that Hex did way too much. It did like over half. That's really freaking great, because now this move is only sitting at half HP, and he is Toxic, which is great. Yes, he does have that Leech Seed, but do I really care? No, I mean, come on. Now he could go for a Stun Spore. Sometimes Whimsicott do run Stun Spore, so I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna switch out. But before I switch out, he's gonna switch out. He's gonna go into Gastrodon. And that's really sweet, because I'm just gonna go into Rotom-C. It was not a double switch. I wanted to just go into my Rotom, expecting a Stun Spore from the, you know, Whimsicott. But he goes into Rotom, that's just even better. Now I could have went for a Volt Switch, but I'm really scared that Gastrodon might stay in. I'm stuck onto Choice Scarf after all, so it's not wise for me to go for a Volt Switch. Instead, I went for a Trick. What I really wanted was actually the Whimsicott to come back out, so I can grab the Whimsicott's leftovers while the Whimsicott gets my Choice Scarf. But, you know, I get the Life Orb, and Emboar gets a Choice Scarf, so I'm like, okay, well, hey, you know what? This Emboar is a Scarf Emboar that's, like, almost identical to the ones that I usually run. Expecting a Fire move now, because obviously I have Cofagrigus. There's no reason for my opponent to go for a Hammer Arm. And, it doesn't do much, even to especially defensive Slowking. I'm gonna go for a Scald. No, I'm not gonna go for a Scald, because I know the Gastrodon's coming. I'm sorry, but I know Gastrodon way too well. I know Gastrodon like in the back of my head. Gastrodon is like my own damn son. I'm not gonna feed him that Storm Drain. No, I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam. Now, I go into Registeel, expecting, you know, really anything. Maybe a Scald or a Toxic, whatever. Now, I know Gastrodons usually run Earth Power, or even Earthquake, but I also know that I have massive special defense. So even if this Gastrodon is like modest nature and has max EVs and special attack, it's still not going to do too much to Registeel. Look at that. Look at that. Registeel still takes it like a fucking boss, like a fucking champ. More importantly, I got my rocks up, which is great. It does have, you know, that Swellow chilling in the back. Here comes the Cofagrigus now. You know, that's fine and all. I went for a Psychic Toss. Did not expect the Cofagrigus. You know, it hits everything, but, you know, that's well played on my opponent's part. It's great. It's expecting a Will-O-Wisp now, really afraid of the Will-O-Wisp. Again, Registeel did his shit, you know, so I'm just like, you know what, if I do get burned, whatever, let me just land my Thunder Wave. And he actually gets Parahax on the very first turn, which is awesome. So then I'm thinking, maybe that's a fucking sign. Maybe the gods of Pokemon want Registeel to live. Maybe they don't want Registeel to be burned. So, consider it done, gods. I'm gonna switch my Registeel out, and I'm gonna bring out my Drapion. Like, why the hell would you bring out your Drapion? Drapion isn't gonna get burned. I fucking know. My Drapion is carrying... You'll see it. You'll see it. Yes, you guessed correctly. I am carrying the Lumberry. That'll heal me up. And I'm free to go for a knockoff. It's great. I could have actually set up, but I wasn't sure if he was just gonna keep staying in or not. Regardless, I'm just gonna go for a knockoff. Nothing in his team wants to get hit by a knockoff, which is fucking sweet. I'm gonna knock this Gastrodon and has Chasto Berry, which is really fantastic because we already know this Gastrodon probably has Rest. Now he can't use Rest, which is great. I'm gonna go for the Rotom. Luckily for me, my opponent did not overpredict and go for Ice Beam. I'm free to go for a Leaf Storm. He thought I was actually gonna go for another trick or maybe even a Volt Switch, but no. No. He overpredicted and he had to pay the price. That Leaf Storm overkilled that Gastrodon. Here comes the Emboar now. Obviously, I can't do shit. Yes, I have Life Orb, but this Emboar has Choice Scarf. He will fucking outspeed me. Now, I could go into Slowking, since, you know, he'll probably go for a Fire attack, but I also know how Emboars run. They have Wild Charge. You know, so I'm like, no. You are not landing a Wild Charge on my Slowking. I know Emboar way too well as well. I suppose this is the benefit of playing RU way too fucking much. I know all these moves, and I predicted that really nicely. Obviously, I can't burn it, but hey, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go for a Toxic. And he's withdrawing. Great, smart move. And he goes into his own Cofagrigus, which is fantastic. So obviously, I can't Toxic him. Actually, I don't go for a Toxic. I'm sorry. I make a double switch here. Go back into the Drapion. That's fantastic. I get that initiative, and I'm free to go for a knockoff. If he wants to stay in and go for a Will-O-Wisp, keep in mind my opponent has a chance to hit himself in Paralysis or even miss his Will-O-Wisp. So he actually has a very high chance of not landing a Will-O-Wisp. He doesn't get Parahax, but he does miss his Will-O-Wisp. Kinda sucks, I'm sorry. But I just go for my second knockoff, and I do get a critical. That crit actually did matter, luckily. And Drapion still remains unburned while taking care of that. Cofagrigus. Here comes the Emboar now. I'm thinking, okay. Judging by how much this Emboar does, I'm pretty sure it has an adamant nature, and not to mention it has Flame Wheel, or Flame Charge? Yeah, Flame Charge or something. Knowing that, it's probably adamant nature, and knowing that, I do outspeed it, even if it's holding on to a Scarf. So, actually, the Scarf does not quite benefit him. And here comes his Swellow now. Now, I know Swellow can do quite a lot of damage. Usually, Swellows either carry the Protect or the Quick Attack. So, in this case, he has the Protect. So, actually, I could have went for Swords Dance, maybe start setting up. But then I'm thinking, you know what, whatever. Let's hope that maybe he goes for Facade, right? No, my opponent is smarter than that. He will go for the Brave Bird. It's Gust boosted. It's gonna hurt quite a lot. He even took Cofagrigus. However, I do infect him with Mummy, so no longer does he have Guts, which is fantastic. So his attacks will not do shit. And not to mention, that recoil damage is totally kicking this bird's ass. And this burn is also kicking his ass, so. He knows better to stay in. He's gonna switch out and regain his momentum, so he can, you know, get rid of that Mummy ability. He's gonna go back into Whimsicott. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Obviously, I'm just gonna do another switch here. I'm just making all these double switches back and forth. Not expecting the Whimsicott to come out. I really thought that the Swellow might actually just stay in and go for another Brave Bird. In that case, Registeel would take it really well, but, you know, I guess I could just go for a Seismic Toss or something. But I'm just really afraid that this Whimsicott will go for a Stun Spore or a Leech Seed. Still don't know all 4 moves of this Whimsicott, obviously, so I'm thinking, okay, let's just get out of here. Rotom is a great counter for Whimsicott, and he does go for a Leech Seed, which is fantastic. So that stalls him one more turn, That gives me another turn for him to lose more toxic damage, which is fantastic. Now, at this range, I'm like, you know what? I do have a good chance to kill. I'm carrying a life orb after all. Let's see how much I can do. And it just barely, but not quite enough, take him out. He turns out he reveals his 4th move. Well, he never revealed his, 3rd move either, I believe. I mean, it could be Encore. I'm pretty sure it's Encore, right? Most Whimsicotts run Encore, but my opponent has not been abusing this Whimsicott's Encore. Not that I could blame him, since this Whimsicott is poisoned, badly poisoned, so unfortunately, his Whimsicott will go down. Now the Hitmonchan is out. I believe my opponent has the Hitmonchan and the Swellow. And I'm just like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'll speed it. If he goes for a Mach Punch, I can still live it, but he has Fake Out! So then I'm thinking, okay, after 1 Fake Out and 1 Mach Punch, he can actually kill me. So I'm gonna go into for Cofagrigus expecting a Mach Punch. But instead of Mach Punch, he has Drain Punch, which is even better, honestly. I mean, not better, but it's all the same. Nothing's gonna hurt Cofagrigus. And I didn't think he was gonna switch out. I mean, his Swellow is gone for good. Stealth Rock is coming out. Why would you want to stand out your Swellow when Cofagrigus has Mummy, right? I mean, at this range, at this point, my Cofagrigus can wall both of my opponent, I believe. The Swellow and the Hitmonchan, so yeah, he's down to very low health, so I'm thinking, you know what? I actually could probably just send out my Registeel. For sure he's gonna go for a Brave Bird. That's all Swellows do, it's either Facade or Brave Bird. Yes, he goes for Brave Bird, and my Registeel will take it even better than Cofagrigus. And naturally, the recoil damage shall finish him off, which is fantastic. Down goes the Swellow, and my opponent has one last Pokemon left, the Hitmonchan. Wow, everyone is still, doing alright. Not too bad. Now, I'm just gonna stay in, let him die, but my opponent over-predicted. He thought that Cofagrigus was coming out. I mean, can't blame him. I was just ready to fodder off my Registeel, but in case he, did something weird, for instance, that Ice Punch, I'm just gonna land the Thunder Wave. Now that I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure my opponent is going to go for a Drain Punch this turn, so I'm thinking, okay, let's bring out the Cofagrigus this time. If I get a free switch, why the hell not? And luckily I do. That's really great. I do grab more leftovers, and I'm sitting above half, so I'm thinking, okay, sweet. He's paralyzed too, and I outspeed him. I kind of wish he was burned instead, but his moves aren't going to do too much. Especially when I contract him with Mummy. He no longer has Iron Fist, so his attacks will do ridiculously low and weak. My Hex is not going to be enough to finish him off, but hey, it's all good. I'm sitting pretty darn comfortable here, and he does get that Parahex. Again, not that it really matters. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if Hitmonchan can learn Knock Off. If it can, I mean, that could potentially do some crazy shit to Cofagrigus, but fortunately for me, I finish off that Hitmonchan. So there you have it. That was an amazing battle, and what a great comeback it was. So thank you, Carnage. That was a great battle, and if you guys like this battle, well, be sure to leave that like, make sure to comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.